शुक्लांबरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। कठोपनिषद अध्याय 1 वल्ली 3 मंत्र 13 and 14। यच्छेद्वाङ्मनसि प्राज्ञः तद्यच्छेज्ञान आत्मनि ज्ञानमात्मनि महति नियच्छेत् तद्यच्छेच्छान्त आत्मनि उत्तिष्ठत जाग्रत प्राप्य वरान् निबोधत। क्षुरस्य धारा निशिता दुरत्यया दुर्गं पथस्तत्कवयो वदन्ति। Mantra 13 we have already seen in last 2 classes, yet people have many doubts regarding this mantra. Because sometimes certain prakriyas are not easily palatable for some people. There are various prakriyas, various methodologies, approaches, and it is true even when we talk about drishya pravilapanam. There can be various approaches. For a better clarity, we will look at the mantra with a slightly different approach. Two things are obstacles in the way of assimilating Atmajnana, understanding one's Brahman status. The first one is Anatmani Atmatva Buddhi. Taking the Anatma as Atma. And the second one is Jagati Satyatva Buddhi. Taking the Jagat as Satya. When we talk about Drishya Pravilapanam, resolution of the Drishya, we are resolving both Anatma, Anatmani Atmatva Buddhi is removed through the process of Drishya Pravilapanam. Similarly, Jagati Satyatva Buddhi is also resolved. Let us consider Anatmani Atmatva Buddhi, taking the Anatma as Atma. We have very strong identification with the Anatma. And the Anatmas are there at various levels. Sthula onwards. Sukshma, Sukshma, Sukshma. There is Anatma. And we can discuss the levels in various ways. One way of discussing the levels of Anatma, Shariratraya, 3 Shariras. Another way of talking at them is Panchakosha. And here there is another way of talking about Indriyani, Manaha, Buddhihi, etc. We can start from our body because there is a strong identification with the body. Sthula Sharira. Sthula Sharira is Anatma. But we have strong identification. I am the body. Even if it is told several times, it does not go away. Aham Dehaha. We may not say Aham Dehaha. I am body, we may not say most often. But we identify with the attributes of the body. We identify with the parts of the body as our parts. Therefore, there is bodily identification. We say, my body. This is something strange about our body. We say, my body. If it is your body, that means it is not you. But the properties of the body become our properties. I am tall. My body, I am tall. The two statements are actually contradictory. If it is my body, I should say my body is tall. But we say I am tall. That means we identify with the body, despite saying my body. There is I identification with the body. And it is very strong. Since it is very strong, it is not easy to get rid of. In spite of Shavana, in spite of manana, the body abhimana, dehabhimana continues. Therefore, we have to start with the resolution of the body. There are indriyas in the body, senses in the body, and the senses are pervading the body. The eyes are present in a particular place, ears are present in a particular place, and the particular places are called golaka. It is a golaka. My eyeballs are golaka. My earlobes are golaka. In them, indriya is sitting. My tongue is another golaka. Rasanendriya is sitting there. My nostrils are another golaka. Granendriya is sitting there. Then there is one more indriya, Twagendriya. It pervades entire body. The skin, all over. And then there are karmendriyas, 5 jnanendriyas and 5 karmendriyas. They are pervading the body. That is why the body is sentient. If the indriyas withdraw from the body, there is no sentiency in the body. That is what happens during deep sleep. Indriyas close down. They shut down their office and go home. The body is not pervaded by indriyas during deep sleep. Then the body is as good as dead for a while. Jada. It is like a log. That is why we say slept like a log. Jada. Therefore, the body is not Atma, because the body is dependent on the indriyas for their sentiency. Therefore, the body is not Atma. When we abide in this understanding, in due course of time, the Atmatva Abhimana in the body is resolved. It is resolved from the body and it stops at Indriya, because we are considering the Indriya as the subtler, as the one that pervades the body. Compared to the body, the Indriyas could be Atma, but not the body. That is how the Dehabhimana, the Atmatva Buddhi in the body, is resolved into the Indriyas. At that level, Indriyas are Atma, because Indriyas are sentient. They make the body sentient. They could be Atma. This is one level. So we resolve the body identification into the Indriya. And this level is not mentioned in the Shruti. because the Shruti is taking it for granted that the student doesn't have that much of Dehabhimana. Then the Indriyas. We attribute Atmatva to the Indriya. Indriyas are also Anatma. But we have Atmatva Buddhi in the Indriya. That is why we say Aham Karnaha, etc. I am blind with one eye. The eye is not functioning. Eyes are not able to see. Karnatva. Karnatva means the status of being one, having one eye. Blindness with one eye. It is called Karnatva. And we attribute it to ourselves. Karnatva is Indriya Dharma. We attribute it to ourselves. And say, I am Aham Karnaha. The attributes of the eyes are attributed on me. There is Indriya Atmavada. Now we analyze at the Indriya level also. The Indriyas are functioning because of the Manas. Because of the Manas, the Indriyas are functioning. Only when the mind has a desire to see something, the Indriyas see. Only when the Manas has a desire to speak something, will to speak something, the Indriyas speak. Only when the Manas has a desire to enjoy something, the Indriyas enjoy. The Manas houses the Ichcha, the desire, the will, the likes and dislikes. Therefore, Indriyas are dependent on Manas, and Indriyas are regulated by the Manas. Therefore, Indriyas themselves cannot be Atma, because they report to the Manas. They follow the will of the Manas. They follow the Ichcha of the Manas. Therefore, Manas could be Atma, but not the Indriyas. That is how you resolve the Atmatva Buddhi in the Indriya into Manas. That is what the Upanishad says, Yached Vang Manasi Prajnaha. All the Indriyas are resolved into Manas, means the identification with the Indriyas is resolved into the identification with the Manas. Now Indriyas are not Atma. You are clear about it. When you abide in this idea, in this vision, you assimilate the Anatmatva of the Indriyas. Then comes Manas. The Manas houses the Ichcha, the desire, the will, But without knowledge, without jnana, ichha is not possible. Jnanajanya bhaved ichha. We should know certain things. We should have some understanding of what is real and unreal, what is good for me, what is not good for me, what will give me pleasure and what will not give me pleasure. There has to be some understanding. Then ichha is possible. Therefore, jnana shakti precedes ichha shakti. Therefore, buddhi, vijnanam, which houses the jnana shakti, it controls the manas. It controls the manas also. And the activities of the manas are dependent on the decisions made by the buddhi, the vijnana. Therefore, manas cannot be atma. Buddhi could be atma. Vijnanamaya kosha or vijnana could be atma. So this is one more level. The atmatva buddhi in the manas is resolved into the buddhi. I am not the manas, but I can be buddhi. So you identify, you reduce your identify, withdraw your identification from manas and bring it to buddhi. It is one more level of assimilation. All these are processes. And then the Upanishad gives one more level. The Vyashti Buddhi is integrated into Samashti Buddhi. My Buddhi, this individual Buddhi, is not different from, is not independent of the Samashti Buddhi, Hiranyagarbha. You assimilate this understanding. Then you identify with the Hiranyagarbha, with the total, in your understanding. From Vyashti, you shift to Samashti. I am not just this individual Buddhi, but I am the all-pervasive Hiranyagarbha. This step is easy for an upasaka, one who meditates on Hiranyagarbha. This is easily possible. But one who has not done Hiranyagarbha upasanam, this may not be easy. In fact, he can even skip this step. He can directly go to, from buddhi he can go to the Atma. So, buddhe tadyache jnana atmani means manas is resolved into buddhi and buddhi is resolved into Hiranyagarbha. Jnanam atmani mahati niyachet. So Mahat Atma, Hiranyagarbha, Samashti Buddhi. The Vyashti is integrated as it were into Samashti. And here integration is not mixing it physically, understanding that my Buddhi, me the Buddhi, is not different from Hiranyagarbha. Then you have expanded your identification with the Hiranyagarbha. Samashti. You have resolved your individuality with the Samashti, as it were. And then you go further. Even the Hiranyagarbha is illumined. Every Buddhi is illumined by the Atma, the Chaitanya, which is called Shanta Atma. Tadyachet Shanta Atmani. The final stage of resolution of the Atmatva Buddhi. You reduce it to Shanta Atma. The Paramatma. It is me. So this is a process of assimilating the Atmatva Buddhi in the true Atma by resolving the Anatma into the Atma. Resolving the Anatma means resolving the Atmatva Buddhi in Anatma. So this is at the individual level. At the individual level, we have Atmatva Buddhi in the Anatma. With this process, you give up the Atmatva Buddhi in the Anatma. But then there is one more thing that needs to be done. Jagati Satyatva Buddhi. Even that should be resolved. That is why one has to reduce from Sthula to Sukshma. The 5 elements. Everything is made of 5 elements. And all the 5 elements have come from the Sukshma. The Hiranyagarbha. Hiranyagarbha is the Prathamaja. The whole Sthula has come from Sukshma. Thus reduce the Jagat also into Hiranyagarbha. And it can be done in the reverse order of Srishti. And then the Hiranyagarbha, Sukshma, is also resolved into Karana. And the Karana is also finally resolved into the Brahman. Because the Karana, Avyakta, Avyakrita, doesn't exist independent of Brahman. That is how Anatmani Atmatva Buddhi is resolved and Jagati Satyatva Buddhi is resolved. So it can happen at 2 levels separately. One at the individual level, resolution of Atmatva Buddhi in the Anatma. Another at the level of the Jagat, resolution of the Satyatva Buddhi in Jagat is resolved. It can be done separately also, and both can be done together also, based on various prakriyas. So that is the significance of this mantra. This mantra is giving some direction. There can be various ways of resolving. So, we will see the Sambandha for the next mantra. In the Sambandha Bhashya itself, Bhashyakara clarifies the purport of this mantra also. Evam Purushe Atmani Sarvam Pravilapya Namarupa Karmatrayam Yat Mithyajnana Vijrambhitam Kriyakaraka Phala Lakshanam Swatmayathatmyajnanena Marichudaka Rajju Sarpa Gaganamalaniva Marichi Rajju Gagana Swarupa Darshanena Iva Darshanenaiva is there or Darshaneneva is there? No, I am asking Gita Press people. Naiva. Okay, fine. Darshanenaiva. Okay. Swasthaha Prashantatma Kritakrityaha Bhavati Yataha Ataha Tad darshanartham anadya vidya prasuptaha uttishtata he jantavaha atmajnanabhimukha bhavata. So, in the Sambandha Bhashya, the connection for the next mantra, Bhashyakara is explaining the purport of this mantra. Then this mantra also becomes clear. What Shruti intends in this mantra becomes clear when we see this Sambandha. Evam, thus, in this manner, as mentioned in mantra 13, Purushe Atmani Sarvam Pravilapya. Purushe Atmani. Atma, which is Purushaha. Atma, which is Purnaha. Purnatvat Purushaha. So there are people who think that Atmas are many, Anekatmavadinaha. For them, Atma cannot be Purusha. It cannot be Purna. If there are many Atmas, each Atma will limit the other. Then it cannot be Purna. My Atma is exclusive of all other Atmas. Then how can it be infinite? If it is not infinite, it cannot be Purna. There will be Vastu Paricheda. If there are many Atmas, there will be Vastu Paricheda. Also, if Jagat is Satya, even then there will be Vastu Paricheda. The Jagat will limit the Atma. That is why yesterday someone was asking, so why assimilation of Advaita requires assimilation of Jagan Mithyatva? It is very much required because if Jagat is Satya, you cannot assimilate Atma is Advitiya, because there will be Vastu Paricheda. Jagat is also Satya, Brahman is also Satya. One Satya will limit the other Satya. Then there are philosophies. According to many, not many, every other philosophy. According to every other philosophy, Jagat is Satya. Almost every other philosophy. And Atmas are many. Whether it is Sankhya or Yoga, Nayayika, Vaisheshika, Atmas are many and Jagat is Satya. In that case, you cannot say Atma is Purnaha. Atma is always Apurnaha. And if Atma is Apurnaha, moksha is never possible. That is why moksha is possible only with Advaita. There cannot be any other way for moksha. That is why, to rule out all such thinkings, Bhashyakara uses the word Purushe Atmani. He qualifies Atma as Purushaha Atma. Sarvam Pravilapya. Everything is resolved into Purusha Atma. Sarvam Drishyajatam Pravilapya. Entire Drishya Prapancha is resolved into Purusha, into the Purna Atma, which is Brahman. And there is a process of assimilating the Pravilapanam. In fact, the Pravilapanam happens only through Jnana. How Pravilapanam happens, Bhashyakara himself explains. Swatma yathatmya jnanena. Swatma yathatmya jnanena. By the knowledge of one's truth, by the knowledge of one's true nature, Pravilapanam is done. And this is based on a principle that Adhishthana jnanena aropitasya nivrittihi. An aropita or adhyastha. How to destroy an adhyastha? For example, rope snake. The rope snake, snake superimposed on a rope. How to remove it? Any amount of beating cannot remove that snake. You can keep on beating the snake, crushing the snake, it won't go. The only way is to throw light and see the Rajju. Rajju jnanena sarpa nivritti. Adhishthana jnanena adhishthana bhuta rajju jnanena aropitasya sarpasya nivritti. When you recognize the adhishthana, adhishthana means the locus of superimposition. Sarpa is adhyasta, superimposed, and the adhisthana of the superimposition is Rajju, rope. When you know the adhisthana, when you know the yathatmya of the adhisthana, just adhisthana jnana is not possible, because adhisthana jnana can be ayam also. This is also an adhisthana jnana, but it is not the yathatmya jnana of the adhisthana. You have to know the truth of the adhisthana. You have to know iyam rajjuhu. Then it is adhisthana yathatmya jnana. Adhisthana samanya jnana is there even during adhyasa. I hope it is understandable, or am I confusing? See, even when there is adhyasa, adhisthana samanya jnana is there. Idam, this is something. That much knowledge of the adhisthana you have, even during adhyasa. So, adhisthana samanya jnanena आरोपितस्य निवृत्तिर्न भवति, किंतु अधिष्ठान याथात्म्य ज्ञानेन आरोपितस्य निवृत्तिर्भवति. When you know the reality of the adhisthana, when you know the truth of the adhisthana, the aropita cannot remain. As soon as you know this is a rope, snake is gone. The moment you know it is a rope, snake disappears. That is why Bhashyakara says, Swayathatmya jnanena, by knowing one's own yathatmya, one's own true nature, the whole drishya prapancha gets pravilapita, gets resolved. Swayathatmya jnanena, one's own true nature. Why one's own true nature? Because the very Swa, very Atma is the support, the adhisthana of the whole universe. Just like for Rajju Sarpa, Rajju is the adhisthana. For the self, for the universe, you are the adhisthana. That is why instead of saying Brahmayathatmya jnanena, he could have said Brahmayathatmya jnanena. But instead of saying that, trickily Bhashyakara says Swayathatmya jnanena, by knowing your own true nature, because you are the support of the universe. You are the substratum of the universe, the adhisthana. When your true nature is known, Jagat gets pravilapita. Jagat gets resolved. So the resolution happens with knowledge. But to assimilate the resolution, in order to remove our viparita bhavana, the strong habitual Atmani Anatmatva buddhi and Jagati Satyatva buddhi, we need all the step-by-step process. The actual resolution happens with Atmajnana. So, Sarvam Pravilapya. And what is that Sarvam? Bhashyakara explains the Sarvam. Nama Rupa Karma Trayam. The everything can be explained in various ways. There are many ways of explaining everything, Sarvam. There are various models. Sarvam means Dvaitam, all Dvaita, all duality is everything. Everything is duality. You can call it Jagat or Dvaitam. What is it? Nama Rupa Karma Trayam. One way of explaining is Nama Rupa Karma. Sometimes it can be Nama and Rupa, that's all. Only two are enough. Nama Rupam, Sarvam Nama Rupa Jatam, he could have said. Just two is enough. Sometimes three are told. Nama Rupa Karma. Because Brihadaranyaka uses this expression. Sarvam va idam nama rupam karma. All this is nothing but Nama, Rupa and Karma. Even Karma can be included in Nama and Rupa. But Brihadaranyaka chooses to separate Karma. So, Nama, Rupa and Karma. Name, form and action. That is what you see in the Jagat. Nama Rupa Karma Trayam. These three are everything. So that means Jagat does not have existence. There is no existence in Jagat. It is only Nama Rupam Karma. The existence to Nama Rupam Karma is lent by Brahman. Yan mithya jnana vijrumbhitam. So why it does not have existence of its own? Because it is mithya jnana vijrumbhitam. It is projected by mithya jnana. Mithya cha tad ajnanancha mithya jnanam. The ajnana which is mithya. It is the vijrumbhitam, the projection of ajnana, effect of ajnana, effect of maya, this whole universe. Means aropitam, adhyastam ityartha. It is superimposed, mithya. Since it is the effect of ajnana, maya, which is mithya, it is also mithya. And he gives another way of expressing the Jagat, kriyakaraka phala lakshanam. So one way of explaining is Nama Rupa Karma. Another way of explaining is kriyakaraka and phala. This whole universe consists of kriya, karaka and phala. Kriya, actions, and the actions are dependent on factors related to action. Every object in this universe is a factor related to one action or another. Karaka. Kriya, Karaka and Phala, result of action. Kriyakaraka Phala Lakshanam. So all these are showing the distinction of the Jagat from Brahman. Brahman is free from Kriyakaraka Phala. Brahman transcends Kriyakaraka Phala. It is neither Kriya nor it is a Karaka associated with any Kriya, and not even a Phala. It is Kriyakaraka Phala Vilakshana. Jagat is Kriyakaraka Phala Lakshanam. Brahman is Kriyakaraka Phala Vilakshanam. Vilakshanam means distinct. The Kriyakaraka Phala, everything is projected on Brahman, which transcends Kriyakaraka Phala. Swatmayathatmya jnanena pravilapya. It should be resolved with the help of jnana. Swatmayathatmya jnana. And to facilitate the pravilapanam, we have the process of nididhyasana. And Bhashyakara explains the pravilapanam with an example. Marichyudaka rajju sarpa gaganamalani iva marichi rajju gaganaswarupade darshanena eva. So Marichyudaka, mirage water, rajju sarpa, rope snake, and gaganamala, the impurity in space, in the sky, blueness of the sky. All these are aropita, adhyasta. And how to remove them? You cannot remove them by any other means than by knowing the adhishthana. Adhishthana jnanena eva aropita nivrittihi. That is why he says, Marichi rajju gagana swarupa darshanena eva. Just by knowing the swarupa, swarupa darshanena, knowing the swarupa of Marichi, mirage, not mirage, Marichi means the desert. The desert. Desert is the adhishthana of Marichi Jala, Marichyudaka, the mirage water. If you understand it is just desert, desert land, Marichi is gone. Likewise, Gagana Swarupa, Rajju Swarupa. If you know them, the aropita disappears. And where does it disappear? It doesn't run away. See the Rajju Sarpa, it does not run away when you know the Rajju. It doesn't move anywhere out. Then where does it go? That is why we say it gets resolved into. It gets resolved into the rope. That is why pravilapanam. The word pravilapanam, resolution, is to say that it doesn't run away elsewhere. It is lost in the very adhishthana. That is why we say pravilapya. So, pravilapanam happens with adhishthana jnanam. That is why darshanena eva, just by knowing. There is no other means for pravilapanam. And then what result one enjoys as a result of anatma pravilapanam, as a result of drishya pravilapanam. So drishya pravilapanam is nothing but assimilation of knowledge. So when drishya pravilapanam is done, it is as good as you have become an Atmajnani. You know the Atma. Jnana is complete. And then he enjoys the result of the knowledge. Swasthaha. He abides in his own swarupa. Swasmin swarupe sthitaha. Swasthaha. He abides in his swarupa, in his true identity. He is not shaken from his true identity. And then he becomes prashantatma. Prashantaha atma yasya saha. One whose atma is prashanta, free from all problems, means asamsari ityartha, muktaha ityartha, free from samsara. And kritakrityo bhavati, and then he is kritakrityaha. He has accomplished what has to be accomplished in life. Kritam krityam yena saha kritakrityaha. One who has accomplished what has to be accomplished is called a kritakritya. Means there is nothing more to be accomplished, nothing more to be gained, because no more addition is needed for the completeness. So yataha evam bhavati. The yataha should be connected in the beginning. Yataha evam ityadi. Since it is so. Ataha, therefore. Yataha kritakrityo bhavati. Yataha swasthaha. Yataha evam pravilapya. Swasthaha prashantatma kritakrityo bhavati. Since it is so. Since one gets this result by means of Atmajnana, ataha, therefore one should make effort for Atmajnana, which will be told in the next mantra. Ataha connects with the next mantra. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.